a threat to democracy, something is anti-democratic, undemocratic, or even a festival of democracy. Well, raised by Ciceronian works like De Officis, on the Jagerian Paideia, Werner Jaeger's Paideia, even by works of Ernst Jünger, who was not completely a democrat per se, the soldier of World War I and II in the ranks of the Wehrmacht soldiers, for whom the generals of the Reich built golden bridges. He resigned out of his humaneness to cross them. Now, in a crucial era where they talk about democracy, when right-wing populist idiots spoil our blood, where far left-wing idiots gather the scum from the blood that spoiled, I would like to focus on certain things. For example, democracy as the rule of aristocracy, meritocracy, equity justice, aristocracy, arete meaning virtue, as opposed to rule of the mob, of the mass, of the majority. That is a mobocracy. It is not a definition of democracy, the rule of the mass, the rule of majority. That is not democracy. So, we have the festival of democracy, the engineered, socially engineered, media engineered democracy. What is the equality amongst oligarchy? And the equality that is pushed down upon excellent minds or greater people by the oligarchy or those in power that are not necessarily meritocratic. Privileges, profiteering, political capitalistic profiteering. Is this democracy? Now I would like to explain by contradistinguishing, by comparing certain things. So in the first model that I mentioned, democracy as aristocracy, virtue-based rule, the ideals of excellence, justice, wisdom and merit of governance, ruled by the best, whose wisdom, virtue and character, not by wealth elite. It aligns with, for example, Plato's vision, or Confucian vision, or Jeffersonian republicanism even. Meritocracy, leadership based on talent, competence and proven ability rather than wealth or popularity or mass appeal. Equity justice, focus on fairness tailored to circumstance. Everyone gets what they need to thrive, not necessarily the same as others, because we've got a mass of proletariat that looks towards celebrities and filthy rich politicos, and they think they can acquire it chasing it, instead of adjusting to their talents, to their abilities, and being within certain social mobility aspiring to great things, not by trying to hop to the position of those idiots. Aristocracy, from arete, Greek for excellence, governance by those who embody proven virtue and moral excellence of whatsoever sort. So, citizens participate in rule, delegate the greatest of theirs, guided by reason, justice and common good. Educated citizenry, responsible citizenry. Next one, mobocracy and populist democracy. That is the model of the now, so mass appeal, emotional rule. Especially right-wing populists are good at it. Charismatic, so-called politics, individualistic politics. When one individual that is a total scoundrel, is appealing to the masses and the lowest emotions and denominators. Manipulation and exploitation of the mass. A feedback machinery that ruins societies in the long run. And short-sighted swine that are stubborn. They don't see the great picture, the grand history, the grand narrative. How can they understand if they move like political flags from one candidate to another? So mobocracy, ruled by the masses without structural reason, driven by emotions, popularity, short-term passions. Rule of the mass, governors by numerical majority, regardless of knowledge, excellence. The Festival of Democracy. There was a book called The Festival of Illusions, right? So making it shallow, performative nature of modern so-called political engagement. To whom? To the society? No, to the Festival of Democracy. Once you win, you don't give a damn. Equality as sameness. We're treating everyone the same regardless of context or need. This is leading to gross injustices. Oligarchy as contradistinct, different from aristocracy. Oligarchy, a few elites, economic or political control the majority of power, resources, networks, influence. Privilegism, rule based on inherited systematic privilege, entrenching advanced rather than dispersing it. Profiteering, governance, political systems for private gain, especially in crisis times like now Ukraine, Russia, US, NATO, Europe, European Union, China pop up, A pity that the West is dying in such a dramatic fashion. And political capitalism, state and business where policy serves economic elites more than its people. Now it is funny that right-wing populists call me a lefty. Left-wingers call me a fascist or a Nazi even, national socialist. While trying to be a reasonable, moderate that was swept away into oblivion with his reason in the modern times. A Ciceronian type Republican, not an American Republican, Ciceronian, the Republic of Rome. Is maybe perhaps an antique, but I believe that there are more people with certain reasoned prerogatives that are silenced, obliterated, destroyed, made insane, swept into oblivion, because they are not profitable enough. They subvert the status quo, and the most moderate, strong Democrats are seen as liabilities, as rebels, as dissenters, dissidents to what the so-called democracy is nowadays. We are the rebels of democracy, and we are seen as the enemies of those pigs daring to call these political systems democracies. Can you see that? At all. Thank you.